Hello everybody, welcome back to the Rocket Sports Report. This will be our last show of the semester. As always, I'm your host, the Editor-in-Chief of the Rocket, Cody Christmas.
And I'm the Rocket Sports Editor, Jolly Justin.
Today we're going to give you a recap of all the fall sports and we'll preview some of the winter ones for you. We'll start off with football. They finished the season 8-3, losing their last two games and failing to secure a spot in the Division II playoffs. Their biggest win of the season came at home against number 5 California University. They won that game in overtime, and they climbed as high as number 7 in the national rankings this season. Justin, you want to give us some of the top performers from the team?
Absolutely. They had a lot of national recognition and especially PSAC recognition. So first we're going to start off with senior wide receiver Marcus Johnson. Marcus was a PSAC first team in 2 departments for both return specialist and wide receiver. He was also elected first team all-region just this week. He finished with 72 receptions for 1,214 yards, 14 touchdowns, which led the PSAC, 2 kickoff return touchdowns, and 1 punt return touchdown. On the flip side of Marcus, on the other side of the field, we had senior wide receiver Millie Ray, also making PSAC first-team wide receiver. He hauled in 76 catches for 959 yards, 9 touchdowns, and also had a punt return touchdown while being on ESPN 7 or 8 times this year.
On the offensive line, we had senior Ian Park placing first team for guard in the PSAC, and junior Steve Gaviglia finishing on the PSAC second team at tackle. And then in the backfield, we had senior quarterback Tanner Gary in his one and only season with the Rock. He was the second team all-conference quarterback. He led the nation with 3,522 passing yards and 32 passing touchdowns.
In the backfield with Gary this year was senior running back Isaiah Neely, who finished on the PSAC second team roster. He finished with 754 yards rushing, along with 12 rushing touchdowns. The other all-PSAC selection was another double selection, both on the second team. Sophomore Jake Chaplow was selected the second team kicker and punter. He kicked both the tying PAT and the winning field goal versus California University in the team's biggest win this season.
And then the big one, Marcus Martin, senior defensive end. This year, he broke the all-conference sack record, all-divisions career sack record. He was the PSAC Defensive Player of the Year, a finalist for the William V. Campbell Trophy, which is essentially the academic Heisman, the Ted Kendricks Trophy, which goes to the best defensive end. He was the first ever finalist from Division II. He was a finalist for the Harlan Hill, which is the Division II Heisman. It's only the 4th time ever a defensive player was a finalist. He won the Gene Upshaw Award, which goes to the best Division II lineman. He was first team all-region, and he's up for the Division II Defensive Player of the Year award.
Just an incredible year for Marcus. He's currently in New York City celebrating all of his awards and recognitions, so just a fantastic year for Marcus. Next, we're going to move on to volleyball. The volleyball team finished 11-19, 3-15 in PSAC play. Season was highlighted by senior defensive specialist and libero Courtney Oberlander. She finished all PSAC second team as well as all region, and she finished her career second all-time in SOU history in digs with 1,906. So a great career for Courtney.
Moving now to the cross-country teams. On the men's side, they finished 10th in the PSAC championships and 13th at the regional championships. Highlighting their season was senior runner Jeremy Parsons. He finished 3rd at PSAC championships to land on the first team all-PSAC list, 4th at regionals to land on the all-regional list, and for the second straight year he went to the national competition. This year he finished 75th. Then on the women's side they finished 7th at PSACs and regionals, and they were highlighted by junior Sabrina Palmieri. She landed herself on the PSAC second team, finishing 23rd at PSAC.
And then we're going to move on to tennis now. At the PSAC championships, sophomores Lacey Cohn and Viola Lugmeyer lost in the doubles semifinals to the eventual champion of the PSACs. And then Cohen, as well as senior Carla Corchano Moracho, both lost in the individual quarterfinals for the PSACs. The ITA regional rankings were just recently released, and the Rock had a lot of good representation heading into both the winter and spring. Cohen was ranked 11th, followed by Corchano Moracho in the 13th spot, and Lugmeyer was ranked 19th. Rock also had 2 doubles teams ranked, with Cohen and Carla being ranked 7th, and Lugmeyer, as well as freshman Olivia Warner, being ranked 9th.
Tennis is set up for a big spring. That's really the meat of their season when they play all their conference games. When the championships happen, I think Cohen is set up for a really big second year. We'll move now on to field hockey. They went 10-9 this year, their first winning season since 1998, the second most wins they've ever had in a single season. They had 2 wins this season over top 5 teams in back-to-back weeks. They beat number 3 Westchester and number 5 Kutztown. They made it to the PSAC tournament. They lost in the first round to then number 2 ranked East Stroudsburg. Highlighting the team for them was senior midfielder Kayla Mack, she made it on the PSAC second team. She led the team with 6 defensive saves, and she was an All-American this year. Senior Kaylee Krupsicki, a midfielder, was also on the PSAC second team. And then a couple freshmen, Kayla Ulrich, a forward, she was on the PSAC third team, and she made the all-rookie national team, led the team with 11 goals, and then freshman Brittany Morgan also landed on the all-rookie national team.
We're going to move on to some soccers here. First, we have the men's soccer team. They finished the season 5-10-3, and one of the highlights for their season, they got to travel to Canada, going out to British Columbia in a very unique experience. They played the #2 team in all of Division II, Simon Fraser Academy, only losing 1-0, playing them very tough. The men's soccer team had 2 representatives on the All-PSAC second team squad. Senior defender Patrick Sullivan and junior forward George Oakley were both on the All-PSAC second team.
Moving to women's soccer, they went 10-6-2, the 20th straight year that the team had at least 10 wins. Their highlight win on this season was against number 21 ranked Seton Hill. Landing on the All-PSAC second team were sophomore Madison Johnson, junior Kaylee Downs, and senior Maddie Tletsky. And then junior Brooke Testo was also on the PSAC second team, and she made the All-Atlantic Region team. And then senior Tess Keeley, also on the PSAC second team. She was on the All-Atlantic Region team, and she was also an academic All-American.
And now there's a couple sports that are still going on. They're going to run into winter break. We're going to start off with men's basketball. They're 6-2 right now, and they have 9 games that they're going to play over winter break, so tune in if you can. Standout performer so far is sophomore Micah Till, averages 21.8 points per game, which also leads the team in rebounds with 9.5 rebounds per game. With numbers like that, it's no surprise he already has 5 double-doubles on the young season, and he also averages 29.8 minutes per game, so he's not getting off the court very often either.
On the women's side, they are 4-4 right now, but they're playing hot. They also play 9 games over the break, and they are being led by sophomore point guard Brooke Hinderleiter, leading the team with 16.3 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, and she is shooting 86% from the free throw line. Brooke Hinderleiter setting up for a monster sophomore season, leading the team as the point guard this year. And then we also have both the indoor track teams. The men's team off to a very, very good start. They swept the heptathlon in their first meet this past weekend. I think they have 1 meet over break before we come back.
And also on the women's side, Reagan Hess, a freshman, the first time ever running the 60 meters, she broke the Slippery Rock school record. So that's a fantastic start to a career for Reagan.
That's it for us. That's all the sports we've got. That's all the sports we've got for the whole semester. We just want to say thank you to everybody that's watched. Thanks for tuning in every time. Thanks for indulging us in our love of Slippery Rock sports. Thank you to Kevin Asatula, he's our production manager, makes all of it happen. My roommate, Jack Lindy, he's a production assistant. He does a lot of things. Production assistant Dan DeFabio, he doesn't do that much, but he's always here. And then all the wonderful guests we've had on. Big thanks to Slippery Rock Athletics for letting us do what we love to do, and that's cover them. Big thanks to Steve Sukovich. He is the Rockets assistant sports editor. He was on a couple of times this year filling in and just as a guest. All the guests we had, our advisor, Dr. Brittany Fleming, she's been great in helping us put all this together. Anybody else? One
more thank you, Logan Snyder. If we didn't have film provided to us by Rock Athletics, it was provided by Logan. That's not an easy job to do. Thank you very much.
Yep. We'll be back in spring, hopefully bigger and better than ever, more graphics, more videos. We're really going to sell all out, try to make this show as amazing as possible for both of our last semesters here. Again, cannot thank you enough. We love doing this. We love the opportunity to do all this, so thank you.
Everybody, have a happy holiday.